Sunday in the City of Angels, Dodger Stadium, the scene, the Padres and the Dodgers, the final game of a weekend three-game series. Former Dodger star Matt Kemp now wears the blue of the San Diego Padres. And hopefully today on this Sunday, his bat will come alive along with his teammates who have struggled to score runs the past week. It's the Padres at 20-24 against a team with the best home record in all of the National League. The Dodgers are 19-5 here at Dodger Stadium. And a happy Sunday to you all. Fun day, run day, let's hope. As Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we're pleased that you've joined us here at Dodger Stadium. The Padres unable to score runs, and so they've lost 4 in a row. Can they get something going today?
I hope so, with James Shields on the mound. Hopefully he silences the bats of the Dodgers, so hopefully they get that offense going. A good taste in their mouth as they go play Anaheim Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Well, Shields is on the mound. It's his 10th start. He's 5-0, and he leads the National League in strikeouts.
After start number 5 for the right-handed James Shields, he said, I don't think you've even seen my best. I haven't had my best stuff, so I think we might be seeing the best of James Shields. 5-0 record, the 3.74 ERA. Why? A lot of swings and misses. Not only with the curveball we've seen lately, but also the changeup for James Shields. A lot of these big league hitters, Dick, they like to hit the fastball. We'll see which one of the two is effective today against the Dodgers.
Padres have scored 1 run in the last 31 innings, so they hope that that'll break out today. For the Dodgers, Jock Peterson, he hit a home run in each of the 2 games of this series. The Dodgers have only scored 4 runs, but 2 wins because of Peterson.
A lot of hype from Jock Peterson. We talked about him last year, and now in the leadoff position. A lot of swings and misses from the youngster, but he leads the team in home runs. And talk about plate coverage, going down, getting a Benoit fastball, and then going up top for a leadoff home run last night. He's second in walks in the NL. He's third in Ks in the NL. This kid, he hit .302 in the minor leagues. Now it's time to start paying dividends at the big league level. The average is down, but he's got some pop in that bat. We've seen that this series.
So the Padres have to get some life, some fire into those bats, score some runs for Shields today. And where does that all fall? Get the team motivated. Get them to go get them. Well, that's the manager, Bud Black, and Chris Button with the skipper of the Padres when we come back.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. Justin Upton trying to get his team fired up for Game 3 of this series as the Padres try and take one today and end this 4-game losing skid. We've seen parts throughout the season the potential that this offense has, and now the starting rotation over this last week has found its groove, but we've yet to see it happen at the same time. Buddy Black, a very frustrated Buddy Black last night, says it's going to happen.
We're getting some singles when we get our hits. We're not really driving the ball. We're not really scoring a lot of balls up. And when that happens, though, we're going to, there are going to be some pitchers and some teams that pay, because that's coming. That's coming at some point. It always does. We got to ride this out. This is a tough one. But we will ride this out, and we will get through it, because this group, this group will hit. And it's a good sign that we're pitching better. Now we just need to sync up, the hitters, and that's going to come at some point.
And they're hoping that starts today with James Shields on the mound. So far this season, they've given him some run support as James Shields will try and get his 6th win of this season and stop this 4-game losing skid. Still one against the Dodgers before they head down to Anaheim. First pitch coming up on Fox Sports San Diego.
Beat LA.
Got him. Came back with a changeup.
He is fitting in just fine here in San Diego.
Well, we might as well have been hearing the Rolling Stones last night. I can't get no satisfaction if you're a Padre fan. 1 hit, 27 batters the minimum, facing Bolsinger and relief pitcher Jansen. As we get ready for this Sunday finale of the 3-game series, here's the Padres batting order, brought to you by Toyota. Solardi, Venable, Kemp, Upton, Norris, Spangenberg, Middlebrooks, Marista, and Shields were underway. First pitch from Carlos Frias, 25-year-old from the Dominican Republic. He has been forced into the starting rotation because of the injuries to McCarthy and Ryu. And slicing that in the left field corner, and that's away from Hernandez and all the way to the wall. Solardi turns first, and he opens the game with a double. Though one of the few Padres in this string of games where it's been so tough to get any hits at all, it's Solarte who has delivered. In fact, had the only hit in all of the game last night.
So Yangervis Solarte doing a little jumping jack flash all over that fastball, and I like the reference, Professor, of the Rolling Stones playing at Petco Park tonight. hopefully the Padres are playing big time here at Dodger Stadium this afternoon. That's a good way to start.
Will Venable, the center fielder, steps in. Venable at 254, but the last dozen games he's been hitting at a 351 pace. Takes ball one. Frias is 25. He's 6'4" and 195 pounds. It's his 5th start. 3-1, so he's delivered just as Mike Bolsinger, who's now 3-0, did last night. Inside, and he checked his swing. 2-0.
These are the counts I hope they see today a lot of, Dick. 2-0, 2-1, 3-1.
And have to take advantage of those situations. Long stare down by Frias to get his sign. Finally finds one he likes from catcher Barnes. And a swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Dodger Scouting Report brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
A closer look at Carlos Frias, the sinker cutter changeup. This guy's got a power arm, 95. He's got some arm side run down and away to the lefties like Venable here. He'll throw that 95-mile-an-hour pitch. But he throws that cutter as well. Four-seamer changeup, mixing a slider once in a while.
Well, the catcher just called up from Oklahoma City, Austin Barnes, with Yasmani Grandal on the 7-day concussion DL. So he and his pitcher Frias getting together. Venable getting more opportunities with Will Myers on the DL. The Padres without Myers, he's missed 11 games. They're 2-9. You think his presence hasn't been felt, or lack of? 3-1. That brought third baseman Guerrero charging from third base.
And Will Venable with Adrian Gonzalez playing way back at first base.
Padres get a run early. I think that's key today, don't you?
Sure, absolutely.
Here's a chance. 3-1 to Venable. And he takes a high strike.
I mean, I think it was evident when you called my room at the hotel at 12:01 and you told me, Mud, it's important we get a run early today. You waited till the stroke of midnight to call me and let me know.
That's right.
And the Padres are working on that right now.
Call you early, get a run early.
That's right.
Now it's your job. I can only motivate. And that is ball 4. So the Padres have the first 2 men on for Matt Kemp as we check the Dodgers defense behind Frias. In the outfield, Kike Hernandez starts in left with Peterson, the rookie, in center. Ethier in right field. Around the horn, Guerrero, Rollins, Kendrick, and Adrian Gonzalez, and young Austin Barnes. He's 25 behind the plate, making his major league debut. He's hitting .290 at Oklahoma City. Matt Kemp, scattering of applause as the former Dodgers introduced against LA this year. He's hitting .333, 10 for 30. But 0 for 6 in this series. And with 2 men on, that takes away the shift. They've been really crowding the left side on Kemp. The shift is dramatic as any being employed against any player. But not this time. They position themselves in double play depth. Ball 2.
Good layoff. Will Venable laid off some breaking balls after that first swing, and now Matt Kemp seeing that on deck, seeing what Frias has to offer.
Golden opportunity for the Padres here in the first inning. Kemp in a hitter's count, 2-0 with 2 on, no one out. Ball 3. Now Frias struggling with his control early. Solarte, a leadoff double. Venable a walk. He's at first. And now 3-0 to Kemp. A strike at the knees. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. A double and a pair of walks. And there's a Padre over every pillow for their top power hitter, Justin Upton. 11 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Rick Honeycutt on his way out to the mound, the pitching coach for the Dodgers.
And a great sign for this Padre ball club with the bases full of Padres and the first inning visit from the pitching coach. And this is what the number 4 hitter does. That's why they call him the cleanup. Hopefully Justin Upton can clean up the bases and give the Padre fans some satisfaction here in the first inning.
Mm-hmm. Upton in conversation while Honeycutt talks to his battery with plate umpire Alan Porter. If you weren't with us last night, in his final at bat, Upton thought he had been struck out on a called strike 3 on a pitch out of the strike zone and let umpire Clint Fagan know it. Fagan's down at third base, perhaps trying to make amends through the home plate umpire Porter here. A new day, all is forgotten, hopefully forgiven. And way outside, ball 1. And Padre hitters, Venable and Kemp, both patient, not going after pitches out of the strike zone, and the first delivery to Upton the same. Outside and low, ball 2.
And with each pitch, Justin Upton, that strike zone just starts to shrink, and shrink for him. About the size of a shoebox, 2-0. If it's not in that shoebox, kind of, take it. He doesn't want to swing in a pitcher's pitch here, 2-0 off the end of the bat. He wants to get a big old fat one.
A middle pitch.
Yes. 93% fastballs early on for Frias.
Ooh, swings 2-0, and that was that pitch.
Yes, it was.
In his career, he's unloaded 3 times with the bases loaded. Two and 1, and it's pulled foul past third. So 2-2 now to Upton with Derek Norris on deck. Frias in his previous 4 starts showing much better control. He walked only 6 men in 24 innings. Solardi at third, Venable at second, Kemp at first.
Well, whether Justin may have broken that bat on that last contact.
Get one with a hit in it. Look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Bust out the lumber. I'm not saying bust the lumber. I'm saying bust out the lumber.
Like it.
And string together some extra base hits. And what an extra base hit would do right now with the bases full.
High fly ball to deep center field. Peterson is going back. It's got a lot of carry. And Upton has hit a grand slam. Oh, my. Touch them all and bring home 4.
Pitcher, number 3.
12th home run. Now 33 RBIs for Justin Upton.
Wow. 2-2 count. And we start from pitch number 1. Frias doesn't want any part. Down and away, down and away. Hitters count 2-1. That was a pretty fat pitch. Now it's 2-2. He gets a new bat, and Dick, he found one with a hit in it.
Yes, sir. A big blow. His 4th grand slam in his career. And the Padres had only 1 hit all last night. Get 4 runs without an out in the first inning today. Had the sound. Derek Norris takes strike 2.
I love grand slams.
Look at that. 3 runs in 27 innings, 3 games, 4 runs in the first inning today. What a game. Norris pecks that one foul.
So this early on, Justin Upton is the beast of burden for the San Diego Padres. Busting out a 4 spot.
Still no one out. Fly ball right field at Ethier. And one away. A derisive cheer from the Dodger fans on the first out of the game. Corey Spangenberg, the hitter. Well, James Shields, he's been, just as Andrew Kastner has been, the unluckiest pitcher, not getting any support. Padres have really delivered for Shields, and so does Spangenberg here as he'll try for 2. The throw from Hernandez to second base. It gets away, but not far enough for any added advance by Spangenberg. Maybe the Padres aren't through yet in this first inning.
Nice job by Corey Spangenberg going the other way. Watch where this pitch is. He misses. It ball's down the middle, but he stays inside it nicely. Hands through first. Knob of the bat towards the baseball, and the barrel follows. Let's take a look at the swing of Corey Spangenberg from up top. Hands first, inside out, and spanks that ball down the left field line. And he was thinking 2 right out of the chute.
Kike Hernandez, the left fielder, did a good job sliding to stop that. If that gets by him into the corner, Spangenberg is standing on third base.
I think it's an inside the park home run with his speed, huh?
Maybe.
Been fun to watch.
Middlebrooks takes strike 1. Opportunity here for Middlebrooks to log his 14th run batted in of the season. Oh, and 2.
Wow, 2 calls. Frias gets 2 calls. He swung at 2 balls, yeah. The second one. Tell you what, the lack of offense, no sympathy out there today for Frias from these Padres.
Ground ball, sharp play to the shortstop Rollins. Spangenberg to third. Middlebrooks out 6-3. And the 8th man to bat here in the first inning, Alexi Amarista steps up.
Shortstop, number 5, Alexi Amarista.
Spangenberg 90 feet away from a 5-0 lead. Yeah, there have been some real positives in that lineup. Upton and Norris, to name a couple. And some disappointments for certain. And Amarista won, batting only 186. Just 8 RBIs. After his season last year, where his hitting seemed markedly improved, high hopes of the Padres this spring that Amarista would be a 245, 250 hitter. Spangenberg with a good lead. Should Frias bounce one, he's ready to come home. Roller to the right side, and the play made by Kendrick, and that's it for the Padres. But a double Solarte, 2 walks to Venable and Kemp, and then Justin Upton delivers. Center field fence, a grand slam on a 4-0 lead. brought to you by Hyundai. Jock Peterson, a home run in each of the first 2 games of the series. Dodgers scored only 4 runs in the 2 games, 2 on the solo home runs by this man, 23-year-old rookie Peterson. Then Rollins and Kendrick. Adrian Gonzalez still right there at the top of almost every offensive category in the National League. Andre Ethier batting 5th. Alex Guerrero gets the start at third base. He's got some power, 6 home runs for young Guerrero. Kike Hernandez in left field hits 7th. Rookie Austin Barnes making his major league debut at catcher 8th, and then Trias batting 9th. And the Padres defense we will show you in a moment, but first the scouting report.
James Shields, the master of the change, but the curveball's been the story. And Sunday stopper. Padres drop a 4 spot in the top of the first. Now it's time for James Shields at home plate to paint it black. Stay in the corners.
And he goes over the outside corner with his first delivery, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to Peterson. He not only is second in the league in home runs with a dozen, he is second in walks with 30, and he's on the list as well in most strikeouts. He's been punched out 50 times. Feast or famine Peterson, but a great addition to this already star-studded lineup for the Dodgers. Shift on. Bounces it 1-2.
How important is it for James Shields, and Dick, we say this all the time, quick 1 2 3, no, just take it all out of the Dodgers, throw up that 0, get them as quickly as you can back out playing defense.
Yep. Hold serve here with that 4-0 lead. Got him. Changeup. Strikeout number 76 for the National League leader. Now the Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Upton, Venable, and Kemp left to right in the outfield. Middlebrooks and Amarista on the left side. Spangenberg with that double in the first inning at second base. Solardi at first. Norris behind the plate for James Shields. 36 total chances at second without a miscue for Spangenberg. Jimmy Rollins, the veteran switch hitter, he's 5 for 11 against Shields with a home run in their previous meetings.
Get him right back out there.
Left center field, and Venable's going to have to play it on the hop. Rollins hitting it where the 8th. Venable was in right center. He punches it to left center.
And usually when that happens, Jimmy Rollins gets a pitch that's not where it's supposed to be thrown. Let's check out Derek Norris. Oh, it looks like it was right there. It's, credit Rollins for taking that ball exactly where it was. Out in front just a little bit, kind of off the end of the bat as well. And slicing away, as you mentioned, Dick, Will Venable playing on the first base side of second base.
Howie Kendrick, he's really enjoyed his head-to-head against Shields. He's hitting .294 in the season, but against Shields, .517. They met each other more than a few games in the American League. 15 for 29 as Kendrick winning their battles. There it is, including a home run.
First pitch fastball for a strike. Let's see if that's the only fastball that he throws, Howie Kendrick.
Infield looking for a ground ball chance and a double play.
And if he does throw him another one, if it's off the plate.
Ground ball to third, could be 2. Middlebrooks to Spangenberg to first for a double play. Around the horn, 5-4-3. And that indeed a quick inning for James Shields. Room service to Middlebrooks. Spangenberg with a relay on to Solarte. second, James Shields will start for the Padres. Then top of the order, Solarte and Venable. Interesting, last night there was not a walk in the entire game, either side. And then the 2 walks in the first inning from Frias came around to score on the Grandmaster. Shields has 3 hits and 20 at-bats this year. 1-1. Good cut.
Oh, some respect too. Frias throwing a wrinkle up there, 1-1. Looks like a cutter or a big slider.
Two and two. So the home run grand slam by Upton is his 12th. So that ties him with Peterson and Giancarlo Stanton. Frazier of Cincinnati with 12, behind Bryce Harper 16. Line drive, base hit. Shields delivers. Proud of swinging the bat, and Shields rifles a single to right field. 4th hit off Frias.
Taking it where it's pitched, and a little love from his teammates. Going to right field nicely and turning that order over. Top, 4-seamer. Doesn't try to pull it. Hits it exactly where it's pitched. Oh, the high leg kick too. James Shields looking like a hitter.
Solarte started the game with a double to the left field corner. That set the table for Venable and Kemp to walk and Upton to deliver the entree. I'm hungry.
I love the entree. Love everything.
By the way, the RBI's 4 gives Upton 33, and that vaults him into the 5th place in the National League. Stanton of Miami with 40 leads the way. Fly ball to center, and Peterson has to give ground. 1 away.
Good job by James Shields going almost all the way to second base. When Peterson is retreating back to the track, makes the catch and goes back to first base.
Will Venable walked and scored in the first. By the way, Bernie Mazzola just called in from Duluth. He said, "I told you so." You know, Chris Putton picked Upton, and what a grand slam is worth, what, 10 points?
It's a good one.
He said they're starting to etch the gnome right now with her name, and they want to be sure of the spelling of her last name.
I think it's a long season, Dick.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I told him to haul off.
He's never seen anything quite like this, though.
It's amazing. Hopefully that it gets contagious with the other Padre hitters.
2-0 to Venable. Rolled through the right side. Shields had to pause to let the ball pass him so he didn't run into an out. Now the Padres got it going again here in the second inning. That's 5 hits off Frias. 2 on with 1 out to Matt Kemp.
James Shields almost went backside over tea kettle on that way to second base. When he let that ball go by and then he revved up the engines again, watch him. He lets it go by. Okay, go, and then start him. He had the arms going, swinging. Watch, if the ball hits him, he's out. He goes and look out.
Going to dive in the pool. Now here's Kemp with a chance to do more damage. He walked in the first inning and scored. And again, with runners on, they can't employ the shift. Career March of 319 hitter made. Historically, he's had his roughest time, 260, and that's true again this year. Liner, a soft line drive into center field for a base hit. Shields is going to be held at third base as Kemp, with that bloop single, loads him up again. The Padres, a team frustrated by so little offensive action, and only 1 hit last night, only 6 the night before against the Dodgers. So a total of 1 run and 7 hits the first 2 games of the series. And they have 6 hits already this afternoon in 1 1/3 inning.
How many times we talk to hitters to where they say just a little bleeder off the end of the bat will get things going. Well, this is a good start from Matt Kemp. A walk scored a run, a bleeder to center field. Stay tuned. ...
And how about this? Upton up with the bases loaded again. Takes high, ball 1. Padre at each pillow. Way outside, and of course in the back of young Frias's mind is the last pitch he threw the first at bat up and went over the center field fence. So understandably working carefully, and now he falls behind 2-0. Shields at third, Venable at second, Kemp at first.
You just pulled the Bud Collins.
Oh, wow.
That was right there, wasn't it?
Oh. Well, he knows how to do it, doesn't he? Hit a grand slam, and that was another swing to copy the one that delivered that drive over the center field fence.
And that was a 2-2 pitch. Here comes a 2-1 pitch, still in Upton's favor.
Ground ball by the dive of third baseman Guerrero. Shields scores. Here comes Venable to score. Upton with a double. It's 6-0 and a half dozen RBIs for Justin Upton.
Number 3, Derek Norris.
Have a day, Mr. Upton. Have a big day. That gets Shields in the dugout where he can grab some air.
Absolutely. Frias tried to go inside to Upton and just out of the reach of Guerrero. Everybody's off and running. Padres adding on. You got to love that.
A 6 RBI day, and we're just in the second inning for Justin Upton. Bullpen bell hasn't rung yet out in the left field corner for the Dodgers, but the fans are getting a little edgy. So the dust clears. Upton knocks in 2 more at 6-0. He's at second. Kemp's over at third. And Derek Norris with a chance to add on. Another visit from pitching coach Honeycutt.
Oh, 2 innings, 2 visits. That's not a good sign. And as Honeycutt makes his way out to the mound, action, a little beehive working out in that Dodger bullpen.
J.P. Howell, left-hander, first to get up.
And Honeycutt will wait till the umpire, Alan Porter, goes out here to break up that Shriners convention.
We talk about having yourself a career day or a career 2 innings. Right. The 6 RBIs for Upton matches his career best in a game. Wow. Four on the grand slam, 2 more on the double. Now Derek Norris flied to right his first time. Infield with already 6 runs against the Dodgers. They're going to come in and try to stave it, and up the middle goes Norris, and that'll get 2 more home. Scrambling to the plate is Upton. He's safe, and it is 8-0 Padres as Norris delivers.
Well, that's the chance you take with an infield drawn in. Second and third, probably at probably at regular depth with those runners at second and third. You get an out, but the Padres would still get a run. But that's the chance you take. He gets through, you score 2. Here it is. Watch Rollins, just out of his reach.
You know, we've all been there. You build up the anxiety, the frustration, the anger, and it just boils and boils, and that's what's happened to that Padre dugout, and finally it explodes, and big time here at Dodger Stadium. A swing by Spangenberg to second base, a 4-6-3 double play, but the Padres, as they did in the first inning, another crooked number, 4 in the first, 4 in the second. 8-0 San Diego.
Now lead at 8-0. And Mark Grant, you said it, the story about James Shields yet recently has been his curveball. His last start against the Cubs, used it 43 times. I asked him about it. He said, hey, he really liked his curveball back in 2011, 2012, and then something happened over the last 2 years and really did not like it. So he worked with Darren Balsley a lot during spring training. Now got it where he uses it 23% of the time right now. And I talked with Buddy Black. He says, hey, curveball's coming back in style. It's in vogue now.
I love it. Yeah, Chris. And when you have that percentage of curveballs, then you mix in the changeup. It's not as heavy fastball. And if he can locate all of them, James Shields is one tough customer.
Gonzalez leading off the second, a high fly ball, shallow and left. Upton comes in calling and one away. Yeah, he threw only 18 fastballs in his last start. His fastballs become his changeup.
It's unbelievable. And there you see the breakdown this season. Very, very light on the fastball. And as Chris Budden just gave us that report, 23% for the curveball. Changeup creeping up. And the cut fastball at 18%.
That's his season statistics, but even more dramatic toward the breaking stuff and changeup in his last outing. One out to Ethier, a 306 hitter. Starts him with a fastball.
Another big key, keep this Sunday afternoon crowd quiet. Don't let them get into the game.
Flared foul. So far, Sunday fun day, run day for the Padres. 8 runs on 7 hits. Here's that breaking ball in on the hands. Against the Cubs in his last start. See, only 18 fastballs, well then 17 cut fastballs. That's kind of half fastball, half slider. But a predominance of breaking pitches. And another curveball that fools Ethier. Second strikeout for Shields.
Oh, I love the slow motion. Why? Because you can really see him get on top of that curveball and get the 12-6 rotation. Oh, maybe a 1-7 rotation, but still up, down, off the table, swing and a miss.
Here's the third baseman, Alex Guerrero. Part of a very talented bench for the Dodgers. He's a 300 hitter with 6 home runs. Drives that one deep to right field. Into the corner goes Kemp. And makes the catch at the edge of the track. Another quick inning. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers. The Padres lead by 8. Eight 0 Padres, top of the third. Middlebrooks, Amarista, Shields, the lower third of the order against Carlos Frias, still in there. 8 runs and 8 hits for the Padres. That ball driven deep to left field off the bat of Middlebrooks. That's got plenty of distance. Touch them all. 9-0. Middlebrooks circles the bases. Number 5 for him.
Wow.
Indeed, that frustration exploding today.
What was the old motto of Morton Salt? When it rains, it pours.
That's right.
The Padres are adding on here. Will Middlebrooks gets a mistake, and that's what I like to see, the mistakes being crushed this afternoon. We have not seen a lot of that. Bud Black said pregame, this has got to turn around. This is going to bust loose the offense. We got to ride it out. Got to ride the storm out.
And so far, this is a feel-good Sunday. Everyone in the lineup except Amarista with a base hit, and we're only in the third inning. Frias, who had shackled opposing hitters, a 2.55 ERA. And Amarista floats one into left center field. Racing over is the left fielder Hernandez to make the catch for the first down. And Frias had allowed opposing hitters a 2.58 average. He's just off the mark in the first inning, walking a couple of men, paid the price a grand slam homer, and the Padres picking up confidence with each at bat, including Shields, who singled and scored in the second.
You see Mark Kotsay there taking notes, the hitting coach for the Padres. And these coaches, they work so hard with their students, their hitters, their pitchers. They live and die with each at bat. And Mark Kotsay, after that home run, could not have been happier for Will Middlebrooks connecting on that pitch.
Shields swings a 2-hopper to the third baseman Guerrero for the second out. Well, they are teachers. It is a faculty, Bud Black's assistant coaches, his coaches. As you look at Dodgers starters this season, and Greinke and Bolsinger last night 8-1. The rest of the team 9-8, and that includes Kershaw and the rest of the staff 4.56 their ERA. That's being punctured even all the more by what the Padres are doing to Frias this afternoon. Solarte, a double and scored in the first. Fly to center his last time. Will Myers anxious to get back, but it doesn't look as if he's going to be back in the lineup on this road trip. If his 15-day DL ends Tuesday, he could be eligible to play on Wednesday. Really not taking any serious batting practice yet. Ground ball to Gonzalez, the 3-1 put out. And that's it in the third, but the Padres get another as Will Middlebrooks crushes one deep to left. Number 5 for Middlebrooks, and it's 9-0. Buick. Experience the new Buick during the Buick Spring Sales event. By Petco, what we feed them matters. By Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. And by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price. Every day, no phony sales, just pure value. James Shields goes to work, bottom of the third with a 9-0 lead. Kike Hernandez, then Austin Barnes, and probably a pinch hitter for Carlos Frias, but right now there's no one throwing in the Dodger bullpen. That's a tough chance for third baseman Middlebrooks. He throws in time. The Bear pick up and fire, and Middlebrooks' strong arm just does beat Hernandez. One away.
I didn't even think it was going to be that close, but Will Middlebrooks selling out, going all out. The key, catching that ball on his fingers, not having to adjust, and credit Solarte with a nice stretch over there at first base. Kind of awkward, and he gets stepped on. Oh!
Well, he seems to be okay.
Yeah, ankle's not supposed to bend that way.
There are not many. I mean, the real great third baseman can pick the ball up and throw all in one motion from a very awkward position.
Right.
And Middlebrooks, such a strong arm. Well, here's Austin Barnes making his major league debut, his first big league at bat. He was hitting .290 at Oklahoma City with 3 home runs. One and one. He's from Riverside, California, so grew up as a fan of local baseball teams, the Dodgers, the Angels, Padres. 93 in the fastball. He was a 9th round draft pick 4 years ago by Miami. Came over in the trade that also brought Chris Hatcher here. Trade that sent D. Gordon and Dan Herron to Miami. Pulled toward third, foul. Attended Poly High School in Riverside, did Austin Barnes. Strike 3 called. 93 pinpoint fastball, and Barnes caught looking. 3rd strikeout for Shields. And Frias is going to bat. So with a 9-0 lead, Don Mattingly obviously has decided, I'm not going to burn up my bullpen. Frias, you got us in this jam. You got to just work through a very tough Sunday afternoon.
He's going to have to take one for the team, and James Shields is pitching like it's 0-0 here in the 3rd inning.
Frias 0 for 15 in his career, 0 for 8 this year.
And you know what? I could just hear people right now. Fans are out there saying, "Oh, why don't you pinch hit for Frias?" Right? No, you're down 8-0, like Dick just said. 9-0. I don't want to shortchange our Friars.
We need it. Off the head of the bat, a roller to Spangenberg, and that's it for the Dodgers. As Shields has retired 7 in a row with a 9-0 lead. By Geico. Let's go back to 1998, June 17th. Wally Joyner, a bloop single. That gets Greg Bond to score from first in the 12th inning of a Wednesday night game as San Diego wins its season high 9th straight, 3-2 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. 9-0 today after 3, and James Shields through 3 innings has thrown only 25 pitches. Will Venable starts the 4th inning. Then Kemp and Upton for the Padres. That ball drilled to right field. Ethier on the run makes the catch. Well struck by Venable, but in the range of right fielder Ethier.
27, Matt Kemp.
Kind of sounded like Will broke his bat on that one as well. Until he squares that one up, it's a different story. Good swing, though, by Will.
Matt Kemp up twice. He scored twice, walked and singled. Well, the Padres after the game today will take the short bus ride down to Anaheim and open tomorrow night against the Angels. 5:30 start here on Fox Sports San Diego, then 6:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Shift on, and a base hit for Kemp, left center field, off the head of the bat, but well aimed, and Kemp is 2 for 2. Beats the shift.
Justin Upton.
And here's Upton with a man on base again. He's been up twice with the bases loaded both times. A home run in the first inning, a grand slam, and a 2-run double in the second inning.
You know, a couple of times Matt Kemp has not hit the sweet spot. That one off the end of the bat as well, but he stayed on it nicely. Just a little bit of a cut fastball. Elevated enough over the shortstop's head. Nicely done by Matt Kemp.
There's the Padre record, 8 RBIs in a game. Colbert and Caminiti sharing that honor. And that one chopped toward third. On the run is Guerrero to throw out. Upton. Kemp moves to second with 2 outs, brings up Derek Norris. 2-run single for Norris the last
Derek
time.
Norris.
So stick around. Upton's going to get at least a couple of more at bats to try to set a Padre record. Most RBIs in a game. He needs 2 to tie and 3 to erase 2 very important names in Padre history.
How sweet is that? Double digit in the RBI column for a day at the big league level. That's some kind of nice. It's a good day in the big leagues, Professor.
Already.
Yeah.
Norris up the middle, and Rollins bobbles. The throw to first is in time. After the juggle by Rollins, and with the way Norris runs up the line, made it a very close play. The Padres denied for the first time today. Middle of the fourth, 9-0. A 9-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's time for our T-Mobile Game Changer. As we check major league leaders, quality starts, the Padres staff with 29. They've gone through the complete rotation with 5 quality starts here this past week, and Shields trying to continue that trend with a 9-0 lead.
That bodes well for the bullpens as well when you have numbers like that, because then they don't get spent. They're fresh. Good sign. It's got to start somewhere, and it started on the last time way through of this rotation. And James Shields back out there doing a fine job again.
Getting some support, which the Padres staff has not received of late. Peterson leads it off and takes ball 1. Since he hit the home run leading off the game last night, he's been up 4 times, struck out all 4. Struck out facing Shields today, and he's way out in front of that off-speed pitch. The rookies in the National League. Chris Bryant of the Cubs leading in average, Peterson in home runs, and Bryant with 29 RBIs. 23 for Peterson.
Jock going old school today with the high pants and the traditional stirrups. I kind of like it. I like that look a lot.
I do too.
Baggy breeches, baggy jersey.
The old days, though, the pants would be down about mid-calf.
Mm-hmm. That's a baseball player look there.
And for the first time today, Shields goes to a 3-ball count.
Stay tuned. We got a game break coming up. Angels at Red Sox. Going to peek into that one and let you know what's going on.
The Angels then have to come cross country after that game and open the series with the Padres tomorrow night.
So hopefully they go extra innings and burn up their bullpen.
That'd be nice. Ball 4. We told you that Peterson leads the Dodgers in walks. That's his 31st.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The account and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Jimmy Rollins, the only Dodger hit, a single to left center field his first time. Line drive, second base, Spangenberg, no chance to double up. Peterson, one away. Well, here's a game, baseball, where you hit the ball and you start running. You keep turning left, right? You just keep turning left till you go straight to the dugout. Correct. Well, there was another event today where they do just exactly that. The 99th Indianapolis 500 run.
That's right.
Just keep turning left. You can't even put on that right-hand turn signal. I mean, just keep going around.
Well, that's a long day behind the wheel.
Yeah, and one today by Juan Pablo Montoya from Bogota, Colombia. His second win at the famed Indianapolis 500. Well, he also won in 2000. 39-year-old Montoya. Kind of like the husband fraternity. You know, on Saturdays when you don't have anything to do, the honeydew days, right, you just start running left. Keep running left all day long. They got you running left until they call for dinner. Howie Kendrick. Double play the first time around the horn. And another major sports event also today. The first round of play at Roland Garros on the Terre Battue, the red clay. 114th French Open. Roger Federer won his opening round match against Alexandra Falla, also of Colombia. Ground ball left side. Could it be another? There's one. Middlebrook, Spangenberg back to first, not in time. Wasn't hit hard enough, and Kendrick safe on the fielder's choice. 2 outs to Adrian Gonzalez.
Enter now for a chance to win a trip to the MLB All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. How sweet would that be?
Great.
Upload 2 photos at foxsports.com/fantastic all-star now through June 3rd. That's foxsports.com/fantastic all-star.
What kind of photos?
Any type of photo. You're at the yard.
I would think they'd want they want something related to baseball.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe playing catch with your son or daughter in the backyard.
Not you and your spandex, or what do you call those? Sorry, folks. We'll be back. It gets worse. And thank you, Michael. And the hit parade continues. Spangenberg with a solid single to right field to open the 5th inning. His second hit. He doubled earlier. Check the National University standings in the American League West, featuring the Angels, and they're now 22-22. And the Padres have had the roughest schedule in all of baseball. They've had only 8 games where the team they opposed had a losing record. And the Angels are right at that 500 mark, so that continues tomorrow night on Memorial Day evening. Middlebrooks homered the last time up. That's a strike. 0-2. Paco Rodriguez in the Dodger pen. Well, you want Frias, who's created this problem himself, to get out of the jam. There's a floating fly ball that's going to land fair. Spangenberg gambling, going to third, and it throws it away. Does Kike Hernandez, the left fielder. I'm not sure they would have gotten him, but that's a bold move by Spangenberg to try to advance. The left fielder is only about 100 feet away. So a blue pit. Middlebrooks, runners at first and third. No one out here in the 5th inning.
That's where speed helps you out, and it's nice to see that the Padre hitters are finally taking advantage of some mistakes. That ball's off the plate in, but it's up, enabling Will Middlebrooks to dump that ball down the left field. Now the speed of Spangenberg puts pressure on the left fielder. It's something you can bring to the ballpark each and every day. We've talked about that before. That speed that he possesses.
Padres now with 9 runs and 12 hits. No mercy relief yet for young Carlos Frias. Amarista, the only Padre without a hit. And here it comes. Mattingly finally is going to bring young Frias back to the dugout. Slow walk by Mattingly. Tough day for Carlos Frias, but the Padres were due to break loose and certainly have punished Frias on this Sunday afternoon. So a change of pitchers here at Dodger Stadium. We're in the 5th inning, 2 men on, no one out, and the Padres enjoying a 9-0 lead. Coming up will be Alex Amarista. From Petco Park. By Jack in the Box. Oh, you got to try the new Buttery Jack Burgers with melted garlic herb butter. And by RCP Block and Brick. Start your outdoor project at rcpblocks.com. So Paco Rodriguez enters the game with the Padres positioned at first and third, and this is an El Cajon Ford pitching change, and there's the left-handers numbers this year.
And with Alexi Amarista coming up, lefty on lefty, and Paco Rodriguez's job to stop the bleeding. There you see the splits from the left-hander. It's got some good stuff. Fastball, slider, cutter, change. Kind of a crossfire action, throws across his body, a little bit funky arm delivery from the left-hander, Paco Rodriguez.
Yeah, he extends that arm well back and shows the ball for a long time, but he must be hiding it behind his body because he's had good success. Scott Van Slyke comes in to relieve Adrian Gonzalez at first base.
Dick, while we have a moment, this month, Fox Sports San Diego is proud to honor Rady Children's Hospital as a community partner of the month, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Rady Children's Hospital works to restore, sustain, and enhance the health and developmental potential of children through excellent care, education, research, and advocacy. For more information, visit foxsportssandiego.com.
Yeah, one of the many outstanding charities that Fox Sports supports, and certainly the manager of the Padres and wife Nan, very active in that endeavor as well. Amarista takes a breaking ball outside. First and third, no one out. Spanshenberg with a leadoff single, moved to third on Middlebrooks. Fly ball single down the left field line. Infield back. 2-0. So the Padres on Thursday shut out by the Cubs 3-0. Kyle Hendricks moved up the freeway here to Dodger Stadium. He goes around on a pitch that would have been ball 3. They lose 2-1 to Greinke and company on Friday night, then get only one hit in the 2-0 shutout last night. So the pitching has been good, as we documented at the very start of our telecast, that hitting has been absent. But not today, as Amarista lifts one to right. That should be deep enough to get Spanshenberg home. He tags. And here he comes without a throw. They've hit double figures. It's 10-0. Credit Amarista with his 9th RBI. And that goes on Frias's book. James Shields, a single and a ground out.
So according to the scoreboard out there, they did double switch with Van Slyke, correct? He's slotted in the number 9 spot on the big screen there. So if you're scoring at home, Paco Rodriguez batting in the 4th slot.
And the Dodger bullpen is busy. Ball 1 to James Shields. Yimi Garcia, right-hander throwing in the Dodger pen. Ball 2. It'll be Tyson Ross tomorrow night to open the Angel series in Anaheim against Jared Weaver of the Halos. Ball 3. Man at first, 1 out, a run home here in the 5th inning for a 10-0 lead. There's Tyson. He goes after his 3rd win of the season tomorrow evening. Despaigne will pitch Tuesday, Cashner on Wednesday. 3-1. High fly ball to deep left field. That chases Hernandez back. Shields just misses right to the edge of the wall. Hernandez makes the catch. Oh, James Shields trying to muscle up. That had the dugout right up on the railing, trying to root it into the bleachers.
Oh, I'm sure his heart skipped a beat just a little bit when that ball made contact with that. Shillelagh under it just a little bit too much. Good looking swing, though. He's had some good swings this afternoon.
Well, he boasted about being a good hitter when he came to the Padres. Solardi batting right-handed for the first time, and that's a force at second. The Padres for the 5th inning score one, leave one. Trucks, tools of the trade.
Let's check out James Shields and the curveball. It's sometimes a power curveball, and sometimes, most of the times, it locks up hitters. Especially when they got that changeup and you got that fastball in the back of their mind. You see that swing there, way off balance. And also, when James Shields is on with that curveball, he can place it early for a strike. He can bounce it out of the zone for the swing and miss. The curveball, the yacker, the Uncle Charlie. James Shields has a good one.
Andre Ethier leads off the 5th for Los Angeles. Shields has offered only 36 pitches to get through 4 innings. Walked 1 and allowed 1 hit. Striking out 3. The 10 runs given up by Frias ties the Los Angeles Dodger record. Something that he'd just as soon not be told about. Another weak swing on the curveball as Ethier strikes out for the 2nd time. 4 punch outs now for Shields.
Hey, this is the tool of the trade. Go inside the toolbox of James Shields, and he goes right back to the curveball. Not even close for Andre Ethier.
Alex Guerrero flying to right is only at bat. Out of play. Other NL West action, Arizona has a 4-2 lead against the Cubs in the 5th inning. Colorado and the Giants are scoreless in the 1st. That may be involving more bad weather. They got a doubleheader in yesterday, but around a couple of storms. The Giants will be interested in this score if they should win today, and this game continues as it is. The Giants could pull within 1 of the National League lead the Dodgers now own. Out in front, and that'll hook foul.
Time now to check the Cholula flamethrower. And we know about the changeup and the curveball, so James Shields can still get it up around mid-90. That's 94.
What's that?
Hot sauce.
Line foul, watch out.
That's muy caliente going into the crowd. Heads up. Watch your soup coolers.
So when is it that the
above 95?
The flamethrower. Oh, then you give it the breathy one.
That's,
oh yeah. Where you go.
Yeah. Above 95. Yeah.
So when you have a lot of hot sauce and it starts to really
grab the dairy product, milk.
Is that what works?
Yeah. Cool it off a little bit.
I heard that the natural instinct is to drink cold water, and that's not the best thing to do.
Don't do that. It's like when you get a burn on something.
Right.
Don't put ice on it. It's lukewarm water.
Thank you, doctor. Two and two. Guerrero fouls it away.
See that last pitch is a perfect example of what I mean about the curveball. Hitters have that in the back of their mind. When you look at that last fastball, you couldn't have placed that ball any better down the middle, but yet Guerrero was still late on it. Look where this pitch is. This is a fastball. That should be crushable. But I'll guarantee you Guerrero has that curveball or changeup in the back of his mind, and he can't catch up to the heater.
There it is, the curveball, strike three swinging. That's 5, and for James Shields, 80 on the season.
Little spike curveball action. See how he takes that index finger, kind of spikes it a little bit, enables that baseball to get up and around that middle finger, get really tight rotation. And once again, placing that curveball in the dirt nicely. And there you see the pitch breakdown for James Shields.
Fouled back by Kike Hernandez. So just to review, Carlos Frias, 4+ innings, 10 runs, all earned, 12 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. The 6th time in LA Dodger history that a Dodger pitcher has given up 10 earned runs.
That'll hurt the ERA.
Last time it happened was 2008, Brad Penny against the Mets. There he barrels in the fastball at 92. 1 and 2. A pitch away from striking out the side here in the 5th inning.
You think the curveball's coming?
Yeah, let's just check it out.
I'll bet you $1.
No betting allowed.
There it is.
See, you're just trying to take my money. That's why you should never wager.
He might go back to back here. Made him fish for that one in the dirt. Now he has the ability to throw one for a strike. Let's see what Derek Norris puts down. Curveball.
And good discipline by Hernandez not to go around on the swing. That was an excellent curveball.
Sure
right
was.
Where he wanted it.
Now with the 10-0 lead, I'm guessing he's going to try to locate a fastball here. Fastball away. Oh, curveball, fastball away. Fastball away right here.
Lined on one hop. Middlebrooks with good hands throws him out. That ball was smoked. 5 innings complete. 10-0 Padres. Game summary, first inning, bases loaded. Justin Upton, a home run. Grand slam, center field fence, 4-0 Padres without an out being made. But again with the bases loaded. Drills a double past the diving third baseman Guerrero to make it 6-0. The Padres would get 2 more in the inning to lead 8-0. And then Will Middlebrooks, leading off the third inning, crushes one into the bleachers in left field. Home run number 5 this year. Padres 9-0, and they pick up another run in the 5th inning. And a couple of singles and a sacrifice fly from Amarista. It's 10-0 San Diego. We're going to see Upton again this inning. Venable, Kemp, and Upton scheduled. New pitcher, Yimi Garcia, right-hander on the mound.
I remember seeing Garcia last time, and he's got a pretty live arm. Pretty good splits, too. In fact, not pretty good, really good splits. Lefties and righties, 111, 188. Garcia fastball slider change, mid-90s on the heater.
Venable gets it started here in the 6th. And a strike. Venable 1 for 2. He scored 2 runs. And lined out to right field his last at bat. Garcia, just 24, from the Dominican. Made his major league debut last year with the Dodgers, pitched in 8 games.
You know, the short time that Garcia's been out there, he's doing quite well. Opponent's only hitting 167. He seems to be the type of pitcher who's really not scared off. He's very aggressive with his stuff, all of his pitches. Doesn't really nitpick, goes right after him.
Another foul. It stays at 1-2. Roller to the left side. That's a tough chance for Rollins. Venable can run, and he beats it out. Not hit hard enough, and by the time Rollins could get to the glove on the ball and fire, Venable has another hit.
Will Venable could smell an infield single off the bat. He got jammed, and he realized that Rollins has to go to his right. No chance. Beats it by a full step.
13th hit for the Padres. Venable, Kemp, Upton, Spangenberg, and Middlebrooks, all with a pair of hits. Kemp walked and scored, looped a single to left center and scored, and singled again in the 4th inning as he's breaking out of some tough times. Adam Liberator is now throwing in the pen for the Dodgers.
Stay tuned. We got another game break coming up. Cubs, Diamondbacks.
Kemp pops it up right center field. Peterson coasts in under it for the first out. Let's go down to Chris Budden. Chris?
Well, Dick, this story's fitting with us being in Los Angeles. Today, the Padres announced they have signed Jordan Hershiser to a minor league contract. Jordan is the son of legendary pitcher Orel Hershiser. Jordan went to USC, was drafted by the Dodgers. Now he'll try and make his way up through the Lake Elsinore Storm.
All right, thank you. A right-handed pitcher, former Trojan, Jordan Hershiser. And the Padres yesterday signed another pitcher off the Dodgers roster. As Upton takes strike 1. Yuri De La Rosa, a left-handed pitcher, acquired by the Padres from the Dodgers. He was on the waiver wire. We saw him at Arizona. He was 2-0 there last year at Arizona. Not a bad ERA either.
Yeah, lefties with big league experience got a chance of hanging around, getting claimed off that waiver wire.
It gives a little more strength to El Paso. Need a left-hander down on the farm. He's ready. 2 quick strikes on Upton. 1 out. Venable at first here in the 6th. Got him. 92 on the fastball. That's the first strikeout by Dodger pitching today. Derek Norris, 1 for 3.
Number 3.
2-run single back in the 2nd inning. Now with 27 runs batted in. 2nd on the club. Garcia throwing strikes. Tried to go to right field. Liberatore hasn't seen much action. Called up here during the season. Off the fist. A number toward second. That's going to be a tough play, and he beats it out. Oh my. Talk about a jammer, and just spooning the ball to the right side, and Norris has another Padre hit.
Well, I think the whole thing on that play was Scott Van Slyke in there for Adrian Gonzalez. He was aggressive to his right to get to that baseball. But then at that time, let's take a look. He went for it and then had to go all the way back to the bag.
That was a cue ball spinning out to second base. So Norris becomes another Padre with a pair of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Padres have a brace of hits in the game.
I'm sorry about that, Dick. I was wondering if Van Slyke would have continued on with that. And then Garcia continuing to cover. Was Garcia over there to cover or no?
He was halfway there. 2 on for Spangenberg, a double and a single. 1-1. Well, you knew it was going to happen. The Padres are going to break out of that hitting slump, and they've done it today. 10 runs and 14 hits. Spangenberg, a double, bounced into a double play, and Singleton scored in the 5th. Couple of infield hits for the Padres. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and 2-2 to Spangenberg. Fiddlebrooks on deck. Got him swinging. A couple of strikeouts for Garcia. Padres lead 2. Middle of the 6th. The Padres 10-0. All right, thank you, Mike. First ball swinging is Austin Barnes, and he flies out to right field for the first out. Brings us to our cold, hard facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. With 6 runs batted in today, Upton has tied his career high, as we mentioned earlier, for a single game. The 3rd time he's knocked in 6. Marlins and Rockies, the victims before the Dodgers today. And he'll have another at bat, at least one more. Van Slyke in the 9th spot of the batting order, hitting for the first time. .295 is average. Couple of pitches up and in. Stumbled on the follow through, did Shields, so he's kind of doing a little landscaping out there on the mound. That's J.P. Howell, who was up earlier in the game. Veteran lefty getting loose.
Well, that's a shocker. Beach ball on the field here at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that's the first one of the series, thank goodness. Two and 0 to Van Slyke. High drive left field. Upton is there. Just missed. 2 away.
That's what you like. You don't like to fall behind 2-0, but you get a pitch on an out, being behind in the count.
Well, let's update the DraftKings players to watch on this afternoon. James Shields will get you some points. Last night, the Bolsinger was the winner of most points in DraftKings. Howie Kendrick, no luck there. Chris Bryant today is having an 0-for afternoon, as is A.J. Pollock. I wonder why Goldschmidt wasn't on that list. That would have been too obvious.
Yes. Saw that in that game break that Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney were just talking about. Go to DraftKings.com and enter the promo code Friars. Your chance to win a shipload of money.
Jock Peterson has struck out and walked. Getting a steady diet of breaking stuff. Boy, a very efficient afternoon. 58 pitches. He's an out away from completing 6 innings. Light load so far.
And you know what? If you throw a curveball correctly, it should have no effect on your arm. Because it's just a turn of the wrist. It's not twisting like a slider. All you do is just turn that wrist, scrape your knuckles on the ceiling. It's the same action on your elbow as a fastball. You're just turning your wrist.
Another swing and a miss.
Slider could be devastating on the elbow if not thrown correctly. Curveball, not so much. That's why I discourage kids from throwing a curveball. You're not strong enough, hands aren't big enough to manipulate the baseball to get that proper rotation.
Amen. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball gets Peterson again, and that's a half dozen strikeouts for Shields. Retires the side in order for the 4th time in the game. As we go to the 7th inning, it's 10-0. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com and see how much you could save. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Back at Dodger Stadium, Mark Grant, Chris Button, Dick Enberg, pleased that you're with us on a sunny Sunday afternoon. It's been a mighty bright afternoon for the Padre hitters. They've logged 10 runs. They've had a hit in every inning, and a total of 2, 4, 5, 6, 11, 14 hits. Middlebrooks has 2, a single and a home run. James Shields due to hit third. Amarista on deck. Veteran Powell with good numbers.
He turns the ball over a lot.
Ground ball off his foot. Karam's out to the shortstop, or make it second baseman Kendrick playing on the shortstop side for a 1-4-3 putout.
In honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly sponsors and supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com.
That's why we were wearing that blue pin with the stars, Folds of Honor. What an appropriate cause.
And you know what, Dick? You mentioned it yesterday, and I think it's worth mentioning again. I think education is a huge part for these kids, for parents, to take 5 minutes and sit down with them on this Memorial Day weekend and recognize and tell them the significance of what it means. I think that needs to be done.
Amarista now has completed the entire 9-man batting order for Bud Block, everyone with a base hit.
33, James Shields.
The fact that it was Decoration Day initially, and even when I was a kid they called it Decoration Day, and then they expanded to Memorial Day to honor all of those who are no longer with us. I mean, it's a time to go to the cemetery and place a flower and your loved ones, but primarily it all began in the Civil War honoring the war dead and decorating their graves with flowers.
And the younger generation should know that.
So Shields, a single and 3 at-bats. He almost homered the last time. He sent left fielder Hernandez right to the wall in left field. He's never hit a major league home run. Fly ball slicing to the foul line and right, and captured there by Ethier. Fair ball. 2 away. While all the emphasis on the Padres finally getting all these runs, Shields pitching a one-hitter. Only 1 walk and 1 hit. The single was back in the first inning.
Dick, believe it or not, it's time to start voting for your Padres All-Stars via the 2015
Upton.
Esurance. Yeah, I got you. Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. You can vote up to 35 times for your Padres at padres.com/vote or with the MLB.com at-bat app. Vote for your favorite players today. I got you. Upton, Norris.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Hey, James Shields is undefeated up to this point.
Can't vote for him, though, right?
Right, he's a manager's choice.
Solarte hitting left-handed double to open the game and scored. After he had doubled, Venable and Kemp walked, and Upton hit the grand slam. He has grounded out twice since. Grounded out batting right-handed last at bat. Hasn't had many chances right-handed. Doesn't look as good swinging left-handed. The numbers bear that out. He's only 4 for 26 right-handed, but hitting over 300 left-handed. Amarista at first with 2 outs. Van Slyke not holding him on. Just got a piece of that one.
And I'm sure Solarte playing first base today, working very hard with Glenn Hoffman, the infield coach. Because that stretch he took earlier today, as we take a look at George Lopez enjoying the Dodger game, that stretch earlier today wasn't that pretty. But he got the job done.
He did indeed. In the dirt.
I'm just glad he didn't get hurt because he got stepped on. He got spiked. Looked like he was playing a game of Twister.
So with Amarista's base hit, everyone's got a number in that hit column. Total of 15 base knocks for the Padres. A couple of home runs. Fly ball shallow and right. That's Ethier's play. And the inning is over. Stretch half of the 7th in Los Angeles. Every inning, all 7, and look ahead to the Angel series tomorrow night, 5:30, an hour earlier on Memorial Day evening. It'll be Tyson Ross against Jared Weaver. Then on Tuesday night, 6:30, Despaigne matched against Matt Shoemaker, and Andrew Kashner gets the call on Wednesday night, 6:30 our TV time, against Garrett Richards. That 1-7 record, and that belies the fact that he's pitched so well. Kashner, a 2.89 ERA, but they just don't score runs. Wouldn't he like to have a half dozen of these to work with when he goes to the mound on Wednesday night? So working on a 1-hit shutout, James Shields. He's retired the last 9 in a row. Outfield change. Amarista moves to center. Venable to right. Barmes is in the game at shortstop. Kemp given the rest of the afternoon off. He's been an iron horse all season. And there's the second hit of the game for the Dodgers, both by Jimmy Rollins. Fans here haven't had much to cheer. The Dodger fans, that is. We've got a lot of San Diego Padre fans, as per usual, here in Los Angeles, and they've had a good time. Howie Kendrick grounded into a double play, safe on a fielder's choice. Hit the ball to third both times. Only 63 pitches for Shields. There's a strike. Juan Uribe is on deck. The pitcher is due to hit next. Another breaking ball with success.
Well, he's pitching like it's 1-0, huh? And with 65 pitches, like you said, he can smell that finish line. Bad series for Howie. Great job by the pitching staff of the Padres. Wearing the collar, 0 for 10 up to this at bat.
There's a base hit for Kendrick. So a couple of singles to lead off the 7th inning for Los Angeles. And that'll bring up Juan Uribe.
Well, while we have a second, we want to extend a Feliz Cumpleaños. Carlos Hernandez right there. Put some like birthday candles.
Don't burn him now.
Right. Happy birthday. Put a little cake there.
No, you got 45 more.
Yeah, but 48. And then the Cuidado kid on the right, Eduardo Ortega. So happy birthday, Carlos. Very integral part of that 1998 team for the Padres going to the World Series.
Superb broadcasting duo. Uribe is first at bat of the series. He's hitting .238 on the year. Just one home run. Drives that one into right field. Long run for Venable. Can't get it. Rollins around third and will hold. Trailing 10-0. There's no advantage in trying to risk a play at the plate. Great effort by Venable. Just missed making a sensational catch. So the bases loaded on 3 consecutive singles.
Well, I didn't even think Will Venable was even going to get leather on this, but he dives, lays out. It just goes to show you Will Venable with the 10-0 lead. Still getting dirty, laying out for his pitcher, James Shields. Oh, that was a catchable ball. I'm not saying he should have had it. He could have had it. That was a great effort.
So with no one out, the Dodgers load the bases on singles by Rollins, Kendrick, and Uribe. And here's Ethier. He has struck out both times. Fouls that one back. Shields has consistently brought that curveball low and inside to Ethier.
And that first pitch was a curveball. Ethier just out in front of it, fouling it off.
He's hit well with the bases full. Infield back would like a ground ball, get a couple of outs. Ground ball foul, another curveball. Runners return. Rollins to third, Kendrick to second, Uribe to first. Dale Thayer starts to throw in the Padre pen. In the Padre pen, it's Juan Nicasio. Two strikes on Ethier. Ground ball to second. There's one. Back to first base. A double play. A run scores, but Shields and the Padres will gladly trade that run for a double play. No RBI for Ethier. Rollins scores. It's 10-1. Over to third, Kendrick.
Hey, great concentration. Great job by James Shields making a big pitch with the bases loaded and letting his infielders work.
Nicely turned.
Absolutely. And Clint Barmas, great footwork around the bag. And you know what? Congratulations goes out to Clint Barmas as well. And I'll tell you a reason why after this pitch. He reached a milestone.
Guerrero fouls that out of play.
Today marks the 10-year service date in the big leagues for Clint Barmas. 10 years. Congratulations, Clint Barmas. That's quite an accomplishment. Today's the anniversary of his first day in the big leagues. 10 years is something to be very proud of.
Younger guys would say he's a cool dude, but I think he's just a good guy.
He is such a good guy.
Guerrero. He hits that high and deep to left field. He may have gotten it all. Upton looks up. It's gone. Number 7 for Alex Guerrero, and it'll be a 10-3 game when he hits home plate. Well, Shields came into the game leading the National League in home runs allowed, 14. Made it all the way to the 7th, but things start to crumble here with 3 singles and a home run.
Oh, fastball. He's just challenging him right down the middle. He wanted it away.
The 27-year-old Cuban Guerrero with tons of power. It's Abraham Almonte who has entered the game in left field. He replaces Upton. We didn't get that report. So it's Almonte in left, Emerson in center, Venable and right. Barmes at short. Changes made by Bud Black. So it's still a quality start. 6 innings plus and 3 runs allowed. And the prideful Shields wants to at least get that cue on the report card, leading 10-3. Kiki Hernandez has hit the ball hard twice to third. Middlebrook's making a couple of good plays. 2-1.
You know, it's kind of a muggy day out there today, isn't it?
It's warmer, isn't it?
And that's 79 pitches, 76. Check that, 76. Might feel like 96 for James Shields.
Way outside, and he's only walked 1 today. It only allowed 1 hit until this inning, but 3 singles and a home run. Thank goodness for the double play, Ethier's ball. And this could be even a bigger inning for the home team.
Seems like James, the last 3 breaking balls kind of pulling off a little bit. Maybe starting to labor a little here.
That curveball bends in there. 3-2. Thayer's ready if needed. Getting that formula set, the rosin bag. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So probably his last inning of work. Shields strikes out his 7th man. It's now a 10-3 game. All right, Mike and Mark. There's the story. Padres with a 10-3 lead, and with a base hit in every inning, a total of 15, and a new pitcher, Juan Nicasio, for the Dodgers.
Well, we've seen Nicasio before in his big league career as a starter back in the day. Lefties, they're having their field day off of the right-hander. Hit .357, 14th game for him. Nice ERA, though. A little high on the walks, high on the strikeouts. Nicasio, fastball slider change, get up to 97.
Former Colorado Rocky will face Venable, Almonte, and Justin Upton. Yeah, Upton's out of there as well, so we'll see who's in his slot. It's going to be Barmes hitting next, and then Almonte, but we'll check on that. Almonte's in the on-deck circle. So the scoreboard is wrong. They have Barmas hitting third. Reaching out and punching it down the left field line, slicing away, and it's a fair ball. On his way to second and well offline on the throw from Hernandez, and Venable has his third hit. The first Padre with 3, and they've gone through 8 innings with a hit in every single frame. Double and 2 singles for Venable.
Oh, staying back just enough, letting the hands kind of just drift and service that ball down the left field line. Not the prettiest swing, but a great ending to that at bat for Will Venable.
And this crowd even quieter. 50,182 paid to come this afternoon. And those that came to cheer on the Padres to break out of their hitting slump are mighty pleased at what they've seen. 10 runs, 16 hits. Abraham Almonte bats for the first time. Fouls it back. Watch out. And a reminder that our closed captioning brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Almonte hitting in Kemp's spot. Kemp went 2 for 3 with a walk and scored a couple of runs. Strike. 0-2. Barmas on deck. Almonte's numbers in limited duty. He's had only 28 at bats. A ball, 2 strikes. Hitting left-handed, he's 2 for 18. Abraham. Watch out. Glenn Hoffman skipping away from that ground ball. Another foul. Okay, Mark Grant. I mean, this is a little detour here. Just thinking about it. How old do you think the oldest living person in the United States happens to be?
First number that comes, 108.
How about 116?
Come on.
116-year-old Geraldine Talley in Detroit, Michigan.
No kidding.
116, had her birthday yesterday.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
116.
Line drive center field, and Almonte jumps off the bench with a base hit. Venable's going to turn third. The throw by Peterson cut off. It's 11-3. Almonte delivers a base hit. And another run, and that never gets old.
Exactly. Filling in for Matt Kemp in the order. Playing left field for Upton in the order for Kemp, and he gets a hanging slider, cutter if you want to call it that, and drives in a run.
Second RBI of the season for Almonte. Gee, there you go. You pick Kemp, and you got plenty of points from him. You got 4 or 5 from Kemp, and then you also get 2 more from Almonte.
And always freezing on the line drive. That's the first thing you're taught as a base runner. Freeze on the line drive. Let it go through. You don't want to get doubled up. And we saw Venable do just that.
So everyone's going to have a smile down in that Padre clubhouse after this one. Barmas batting for the first time in Upton's spot. Upton with a grand slam homer and a 2-run double in his 4 at bats. And Barmas sends a fly ball routine to Hernandez in left for the first out. And today's game presented in HD by Sony 4K.
Number 3, Derek Norris.
Derek Norris steps up. He has a couple of hits. 2-run single back in the second. Infield hit in the 6th.
So that means that woman, she was born in 1899. She's lived in 3 centuries.
That's something.
That's incredible what she has seen in her lifetime, the technology. She probably dated one of the Wright brothers.
You know, when
she could have dated one of the Wright brothers. Think of that.
The beauty of it all is everyone, when someone lives 100 or longer, what was the key to your success? How do you live that long? What did you do differently? Well, there's no formula, is there? But she bowled until 104. Bowled.
And if she could bowl her age, that'd probably be quite an accomplishment.
That's right. That's a good point.
You always talk about golfing your age, right?
Yeah. She still fishes. Goes out with her great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren and fishes. Ball gets away, and jogging on to second base is Almonte. That might be a pass ball. Looked
very catchable, didn't it? James Shields talking with bench coach Dave Roberts, going over his outing possibly. Just talking some ball.
It is ruled a pass ball. One and one to Derek Norris. $11 runs, 17 hits for San Diego, 3 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. Clips that one foul.
I had a grandmother who lived to 102. She was 9 when the Titanic went down. You talk about putting that in perspective. 102. And for her 100th birthday, you know what I gave her?
What?
Lifetime subscription to Good Housekeeping.
Give. That's the story of your life. I thought you were going to say tickets to the 2015 Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
So here in the 8th inning, as the hit parade continues, Venable with the leadoff double scores on Almonte's single. Ramos' flight out, and Norris with the count 1-2. Almonte at second base. Another foul. The Grand Dame of the West Coast, Dodger Stadium. Hard to believe. 1962, the first pitch was made here.
How you doing? Another beach ball. Shocker.
Outside, just did lay off.
This is where the concentration level for either team, 11-3. Derek Norris doesn't want to give away at bats. As a pitcher, down 11-3, you want a clean inning. That's why the focus, the concentration level has to stay the same regardless of the score of the game, either side. You go over the course of a season, let's say you finish the season hitting .299.
Yeah,
that one at bat that you gave away, you're thinking, oh man.
I don't think this man is going to give anything away. Nicasio's not going to give him anything either. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Foul tip for the second out. First strikeout for Nicasio. Well, at the start of every game, we offer you the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. And here was Master Mark Grant's keys today.
Well, thank you. There's a first time for everything. Bust out the lumber. Well, the Padres 11 runs on 17 hits.
Ding, 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 ding.
String together extra base hits.
Ding,
4
ding,
doubles and 2 home runs.
Oh, you are on your game. It's Sunday. That's the whole deal.
It's run day, and that means it's fun day.
Spangenberg, slow pitch, and he tried to time that. He has a single and a double and 4 at bats. But the hits 3 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 more in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, 2 more here in the eighth. A total of 17. And the Padres getting some a healthy massage today in terms of their ego. Everybody getting a hit. One and one. Thayer continues to stay loose in the Padre pen, so he apparently will be the pitcher in the bottom half of this eighth inning. .96 on that heater.
Now that's muy caliente.
Ground ball through the left side. Spangenberg's third hit. Here comes Almonte. Here's the throw to the plate. And they get him. He didn't slide. Middlebrooks was out there to try to help him, but Almonte didn't figure the throw was going to come in from left field. And a good throw it was from Hernandez. Now the Padres settled for 1 run on 3 hits. Almonte cut down at the plate. Good tag by Austin Barnes. And that's an easy one. First inning, bases loaded, and Justin Upton clears the boards in center. A grand slam, the 4th of his career. And the Padres, without an out, had a 4-0 lead for James Shields. Shields' day is through. He goes 7 innings, allows 3 runs all in the last inning. Total of 5 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. As he is 6 outs away from his record going to 6-0. Striking out 7, probably will still retain the lead as the top strikeout pitcher in the National League with 82. Dale Thayer takes over here in the 8th. And the young catcher, Austin Barnes, in his big league debut, struck out and fly to right.
Well, here's Mr. 93, Dale Thayer. 19th time out there. Is it 92 or 93?
93 is 93, when he's right on his game.
There's a breaking ball at 83 for Dale. Pretty good command of the fastball outside part of the plate. He'll flip up that breaking ball we just saw, and then occasionally a changeup for Dale.
All the way to the screen. What happened there?
Oh, no.
Let's see.
Did he get crossed up?
He must have, because he barely got a glove on that. Almost nailed Alan Porter, the umpire. He just did get out of the way.
Yeah, very weird, because there's no runner on second base. Maybe Dale Thayer, you know, with the gray pants and the shadow behind home plate, maybe sometimes you don't see a certain sign. Well, that looked like Derek Norris was expecting a breaking ball.
Barely got the tip of his catcher's mitt on it.
And thank goodness the home plate umpire, Alan Porter, wasn't right there to get that.
Levels at 2-2. After Barnes, it'll be Van Slyke and the leadoff man, Jock Peterson. And there's his first major league base hit. Austin Barnes, they'll keep that ball for the young man from Riverside, California. Leadoff man on. That ball will be a treasure.
4-seam fastball, middle in. Got on top of it enough, and that's a line drive, big league knock. Good separation from the hands. Nice stride. Hands are back. Attack. And that's a big league single.
Van Slyke, a swing and a miss. Boy, that San Francisco Colorado series just plagued by terrible weather. Doubleheader yesterday, they got it in, but with 2-hour delays common. Another 2-hour delay today. A fly ball to right field. That's routine for Venable. One away. So they're just getting going out at Coors Field in Denver. And a reminder, you're invited to be with us tomorrow night, 5:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. It'll be Tyson Ross against Jared Weaver. Now we understand that they've moved the time up to 5 o'clock. It's since it is Memorial Day, a special pregame show prior to the first of three, the Padres and the Angels. Peterson has struck out twice and walked. Inside. Arizona continues to lead the Cubs 4-3 and now in the 8th inning. Big swing and a miss. Again off speed, and it appears that the Padres aren't going to throw this man many fastballs. Even if it's out of the strike zone, he can hit it.
And I'm doing just what Dale Thayer's doing if I'm facing Jock Peterson. Fastballs out of the zone in, nothing he can get extended on, and changeups. Can throw a breaking ball ahead in the count, maybe bounce it.
Fouled off Derek Norris, and first one today, and that figured he almost got through a whole game without being clubbed by a foul tip.
That was a fastball right down the middle as well. And Alan Porter taking some time. As James Shields looks like talking to Josh Johnson there on the bench. Well, James Shields, he can't sit still. He's still fired up. He wants to still be out there, I'll bet.
Well, I'm sure even with a great performance, he's disappointed. Swing and a miss, and Peterson on a changeup strikes out again. The third time he's gone down. 2 away. First strikeout for Dale Thayer, because Shields a one-hitter through 6 innings and then gave up those 3 runs on 4 hits in the 7th. Dirty Dale, they're calling him. And for a relief pitcher, that's a high compliment.
Yeah. Look at that hair. It looks like a labradoodle. It's got the sweet cabbage coming out the back.
Man. And that's only a 3-day growth of beard.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. Remember when he shaved?
Yeah.
And like 2 days later, it looked like he had almost a full beard.
I know.
He's got some happy follicles going. Jimmy Rollins, 2 for 3 and a line drive to second. Shift on against the veteran Rollins. Getting his average up over the 200 mark. .90 on the fastball strike. 2-1. Boy, that was a get me over fastball. Two and two. Rookie Barnes with his first major league base hit. I'm sure his heart is beating. Can't wait to get that souvenir. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Rollins throws the bat away in disgust with himself. A couple of strikeouts for Dale Thayer. We go to the 9th inning. It's 11-3 Padres. Game show said it's about time somebody's going to pay the price.
We're getting some singles when we get our hits. We're not really driving the ball. We're not really, scoring a lot of balls up. And when that happens, though, we're going to, there are going to be some pitchers and some teams that pay, because that's coming.
Prophetic from Black, and certainly today. Starting with Justin Upton's grand slam home run in the first inning. Hits in every inning. A total of 11 runs and 18 hits. Will Middlebrooks chipping in with his 5th home run of the season, a solo. It was a breakout Sunday for Bud Black's team. New pitcher for the Dodgers is Sergio Santos.
The L.A. native. He's got to be very proud to have that L.A. on his cap and Dodgers across the chest. This being his 11th game. Fastball, slider, changeup, 90 to 94. Always working from the stretch.
Middlebrooks leads it off. He has a couple of hits, a home run, and a single in 4 at-bats. Santos is just 23. It's his first professional season. Another pitcher out of the Dominican Republic. Well, that must be. I was looking at the other Sergio Santos. They have 2 of them. They have one.
Do they really?
They have one in the minor league book where you go back and they have all the players in the whole system, and then they got Sergio Santos hidden in the big book, non-roster invitee. He's not a youngster. He's 31. Pitching at in the American League with the White Sox a couple of years, then Toronto the last couple. Now with the Doyers. .64, 215 is Santos. Born on the 4th of July here in Los Angeles. Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana.
Good football there.
It's a good school all the way around. He was a #1 draft pick by Arizona back in 2002, 27th overall. Weak swing and a miss, and Middlebrooks goes down. One out to Alexi Amarista. I'm getting nervous. You know what? I just have to admit it. I'm going to publicly admit.
About what?
Well, Tuesday. I'm nervous about Tuesday.
Oh. Why don't you tell everybody?
Yeah, Anaheim Stadium. I guess because I'm a former member of their broadcasting crew from 1966 through 77, I guess is my last year. They want a little humor down there in Anaheim. They've asked me to throw out the first pitch. Now, in the old days, the old days when I was, assistant baseball coach and through BP, I could throw it now. I've had a chance to be in the center circle, and I've thrown it all the way to the screen. That was my MO. Stay down, catcher. I'm not just going to lob it up there. But now I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Just go out there and have fun.
Amarista grounds it to Van Slyke for the second out. But I've got this bad labrum. I can't even scratch my back anymore.
You got the bad suit bone, huh?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how not to look, silly, bouncing one 3 times before it gets to the catcher. So I'm nervous. Chad Jerko is going to hit here in the 9th spot. Maybe we could do a naked gun, and you could dress up and pretend you're
Enrico
me.
Palazzo?
Yeah, you could be me, and you come firing that thing to the screen the way I'd like to.
Oh, that's funny. Nice reference there, Dick.
Jerko, swing and a miss. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 9th. It's nice of them to ask.
Absolutely, it is.
And it's what I'm really pleased about. It gives me a chance to thank the Angel fans who, along with Dodger fans and mostly Padre fans, in the internet voting for Cooperstown, took time to vote for me and allowed me to be in that final 10, and eventually the high honor of going back to Cooperstown in July.
That's a great honor all the way around. Just have fun with it, Professor.
And also to thank the Cowboy Gene Autry for giving me a chance. One to Jerko. Santos at 93 up high. And 3 balls and a strike to Jed. Solarte on deck. Well, this is the first inning. The Padres do not have a base hit. Full count. Sean Kelly is loose. Looks as if he'll be on the mound for the Padres in the bottom half of the 9th. And Jerko with a 2-out walk. That turns the lineup over again, and Solarte will bat for the 6th time in the game.
During your next trip to Petco Park, check out a seat at The Rail, presented by Montalvo Tequila. This bar rail seating area is in the Western Metal Supply Company building and features in-seat waiter service and great views of the field. Mark Sweeney featured it last homestand.
Another base hit, and the Padres have done it. 9 consecutive innings with at least 1 hit, and a total now of 19. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, no worries. Buy tickets to sit at the rail at Padres.com. A great way to view a big league ball game at Petco Park. Somebody's paying today, Dick, as manager Bud Black said before the game. 19 hits, 11 runs for San Diego.
It's hard to do a base hit in each and every inning. And they started off with 4 runs on 3 hits in the first, 4 runs and 5 hits in the second. Venable has 3 hits. He's the only Padre with 3. Everyone with 2. Venable with 3. And Amarista, pitcher Shields, and Almonte, who entered the game late, all with 1. Good stop by young Barnes. Yeah, they're underway now in Colorado. No score. The Giants in Colorado, and the Giants, of course, with a win, could move within a game of first place. And for the Padres, just a win here at Dodger Stadium, it's tough to win here. It's not just for the Padres, everybody. The Dodgers' best record in baseball on their home grounds. 19-5 at the start. 12 straight series without losing a series, winning 11 and splitting 1. Jerko, Solarte aboard. 2-1 to Venable. In the dirt, waved at and missed by Will. No advance. Two and 2. Ground ball, left side. Nice play by Guerrero. The throw across, not in time. He looked at second, and that little delay allowed Venable, who just hustled out of the batter's box, to leg out another hit, his 4th of the game.
You saw that one coming, didn't you? He backed up on the ball. Watch Guerrero at third base. He backs up 1-2, looks at second, pats the ball in his glove, and by that time, Will Venable picks him up and puts him down.
And the Padres have hit the 20-hit mark, led by Venable's 4 for 5 and a walk.
They're waiting. They're looking in the Dodger dugout, and it looks like Don Mattingly.
Oh, why? Come on. Why?
This.
Other than to delay the length of game, why would you do this? Yeah, let's go back and see what you think. Here's the ball hasn't arrived yet. Yeah, he may be out. Pretty close.
Yes, it was very close.
I think it's a conspiracy against Venable, frankly.
Now remember, it's when the ball hits the back of the glove, right there.
And by that time, you can't really tell if that foot has made an indentation on the bag or not. Is there enough to overrule? There has to be clear evidence to overturn the decision on the field.
My gut feeling is that it's so close that they're going to keep it the same. I think the call is going to stand.
He's safe. And the bases are loaded. The Padres have tied their season high with the 20 base hits. They had 20 against the Giants early in April at Petco. So Almonte, who entered the game replacing Matt Kemp, singled in a run in his only at bat. Jerko at third, Solarte at second, and Venable at first. Another ball in the dirt swung on by Almonte, a curveball. Lots of base traffic today. A ball and a strike. If Almonte keeps it going, Clint Barmas is next.
Boy, does that look good. 11 runs, 20 hits.
Venable with 4 hits, Spangenberg with 3 to lead the way of the 20. Outside. I mean, this is such an important game, and of course you can say that just about every game, but the Padres struggling to score and struggling to win, wasting a lot of good pitching. You lose today and you drop 8 full games behind the Dodgers, but by a win you're back to within 6. You got to stay within reach of that top team. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the 9th comes to a close. The Padres leave the bases loaded, but there's plenty in that run column today. Certainly a good day. He had a 1-hit shutout going through 6 innings. Great. And then in the 7th, 3 singles and a 2-run homer, and the Dodgers got 3 runs. Nevertheless, another outstanding quality start for James Shields. 5 hits total, 3 runs, just 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts to bolster that strikeout lead to 82 on the season.
Hey, you know what's nice about that line, Dick? 79 pitches. He should be fresh and ready to go for his next start. A nice day in the big leagues for James Shields.
Sean Kelly comes in to pitch the 9th inning for the Padres. Howie Kendrick. A.J. Ellis is in the on-deck circle. That's the pitcher's spot. One and 2. Kendrick grounded into a double play, fielder's choice, and then a single the last time. Ground ball to short. Barmas is there to scoop and flip it across for the out. 1 out to the pinch hitter A.J. Ellis. Well, after the 3 in Anaheim, we hope you're making your plans to join us at Petco Park for the next home series, as the Padres will close out this month of May with 4 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. McCutcheon and company in town, and then 3 against the Mets to open June, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next. And then off on the road again to Cincinnati and Atlanta. Good seats available. Lots of fun to be had. And don't forget, baseball night in San Diego on Saturday against the Pirates. That's the Kemp jersey right on Saturday night.
Yep.
And the pet bandana now.
Got to go. Got to get it 2 for 1. And as a reminder, stay tuned after this one. Padres Live, the postgame show. Mike Pomerantz, Mark Sweeney going to break it down. Going to talk home run leaders. Hey, Justin Upton hit a grand slam today. You might want to stick around and see that one again. It's worth another look on Padres Live, the postgame show. Coming up after this one.
2 balls and a strike. Ellis. High fly ball to center. Amarista out there for the second out.
Probably a good chance as we take a look at the NL leaders in the home run category. Justin Upton with 12. And we swear to you, that is Justin Upton.
Mystery guest on today's Padres telecast.
We're going to try to talk to Justin after the game, so stay tuned for the postgame show. There he is.
So Bryce Harper, the 22-year-old phenom, leading the National League with 16, but Upton with 12, Jock Peterson with 12. Ethier struck out twice and grounded into a double play against Shields. So Shields really got the better of that match today. .94 on Kelly's fastball, but it misses 2-0. That's a tough day. A couple of punch outs and a ground ball double play.
Tough day in the big leagues.
Looper back a short. Barmas going out. Can he get there? Not quite. Just out of his reach. And Ethier with a bloop single to keep things going here in the bottom of the 9th. Alex Guerrero homered his last time.
That's a tough play for any shortstop.
He makes that one, and he's on the highlight reel. Guerrero flied to right, struck out, and hammered his 7th home run of the season into the left field bleachers in the 7th inning. Dodgers signed him, this 27-year-old Cuban, 4 years for $28 million. Playing sparingly. It looks as if he's not the best of defensive players. But boy, he can hit long ways. He's had only 70, counting today, 79 at bats. And has 7 home runs. That's had a home run about every 11 at bats. Almost a game ending strike 3. 1-2 now. Most umpires, you've got to throw a clean strike, a pure strike to end the game. That one was not. Outside, 2-2. (11-3) Padres, down to the final strike for the Dodgers. In the dirt, full count. Kike Hernandez is on deck. And the Padres with a 4-1 record against the Padres here at Dodger Stadium prior to today. Slight revenge for San Diego. Runner goes, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's the ball game. Final here at Dodger Stadium. Padres 11, Dodgers 3. And here's Mike Pomerantz.